mad. He was like, but then we said, if you take Jordyn on a great date, we're going to report it as a great date.
Yeah.
Almost 10 minutes later, he texted her and said,
All right, it's another edition of Friday Night Pints. It's brought to you by Sling. If you're looking to get rid of your cable, which you should do by now, it's 2022. It's not like even a big deal to cut the cord. You're just a weirdo if you have cable. But you got to find the best service to get you all your streaming services, all your live sports, all your live news, plus a 24/7 Barstool Sports channel. There's only one in the world on the market that does that, and it's Sling. You got a 24/7 channel with us that has all the video podcasts, it has The Dozen, it has whatever that fucking Muppet Brandon Walker does. I feel like Brandon Walker's just on Sling like 19 of the 24 hours. But you get the 24/7 Barstool, along with the sports that used to always be the big problem is that you can't get your sports or your live news. They took care of all of that now, so you can get Sling, do a free 3-day trial when you go to sling.com/Barstool, and then after that, it's just $35 a month for everything. The cable's gonna at least run you like $1.50. All these other services are through the roof. Sling, $35 a month. Sling.com/Barstool. Also today, we're drinking piggybacks. Piggybacks all around. Would you like citrus mint or green lime, green ginger?
I'm doing ginger.
Yes.
Yeah, good try ginger
Sounds
as well.
healthy.
That
Ooh,
is
it's nice
that
and
is the
icy
call. Yeah, these are
cold.
cold.
Like a ginger.
Ooh,
I did the last time.
8%.
Yep, too bad for you.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, I'll take a lime.
I'll do either.
Or not yesterday.
Yeah.
I still like
I've never tried these before.
These are just like when you go to a fancy,
that's good.
fancy mixology type place, and they do nice.
Oh, they're cold.
Yeah, they do like whiskey cocktails.
That's a rarity on the show.
Yeah.
It's rare to have cold beverages.
Oh my God, that's
on Friday
good.
night.
It's so good, man. I just got back from the farm of Whistle Pig up in Vermont. It is so unbelievable. You get a personal chef the whole time. It's so funny when you go to a place anywhere. Even like if you come to Barstool, I guess we don't have like fancy merch, but you come here and there's just like, oh, I want that hoodie so bad, and we're like drowning in them, Well, when it comes to like the whiskey, there's like $500 bottles of whiskey that they're just like laying in the corner, like sitting over there. It's crazy. So I had whiskey and piggybacks running through my veins with professionally cooked meals all day long. I mean, and it's like outdoors and the air is clean.
What'd you do? Did you go outside?
Yeah, we went outside.
Yeah?
There was we did like bonfires. We were gonna do
The inside of the outside.
yes, yes. It was like there's just no roof over our head. You know what I mean? We just like moved out here, and one night I jumped on a sled. I did a little sled down the hill back by the axe throwing.
Yeah?
Yeah, that was a bad.
Throw
move.
axes?
No, they didn't have them out there. So it was a very low-key, chill week, but the amount of piggybacks that were consumed at an all-time high.
Is going to axe throwing like a lose-lose scenario for a guy? Like if you're like bringing a girl on a date there, because it's like
You're not gonna be good.
if you're good,
You're
it's so creepy.
I know how to throw axes.
So if you're bad at it, you look bad. But if you're good at it, you look like a freak.
Right.
So either way, it's bad.
Is this your first time on the show, by the way? On
No.
Pints? No, you've been here live?
Third. You said it the second time. You go, it's your
clearly.
first time on.
Very
I was
forgettable.
Like, dang it.
Very forgettable.
Darn it.
I was gonna say, as
Memorable.
the resident, I don't know, date analyst right now
Yeah.
at Barstool. What do you think about if a guy shows up and he's like bullseyes with
Creepy.
the
I
axe?
agree.
Yeah.
Red
But
flag.
I'm very good at it.
But what do you
Really?
expect?
I'm good at it too.
Would you rather them be bad
Checks
at
out.
it?
I'd rather than be
Like if I was like, I can't throw it. No, real question. Would you prefer if I grab these axes and I'm like,
Bricking them though.
Yeah.
or I'm like, I can't even like lift it.
No, the middle of the two. You have to
No,
be like.
well, you gotta pick one of the extremes. That's what we do here, you idiot.
Okay. If it's one of the two extremes, then you have got to be good at it.
Good, okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I would hope.
If I'm fucked up and you roll in and you're good at it, yes. I'm
The answer is yes.
If I'm sober, I'm like,
I was
like
doing-
anything.
when I went to Whistle Pig Farm, someone had mentioned like flaming axes at some point in the day.
As one does.
So
As casually?
after I got like I drink whiskey literally all day. So after I got kind of drunk, I was like, let's go do this flaming axe throwing. And they're like, okay. And so we get out there, they dump like the white dog, which is like their fucking
The alcohol right off.
It's like their moonshine.
Mega proof.
It's
Yeah.
really good, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very strong, but I thought it was going to be like just drinking rubbing alcohol, and it's got its own taste.
Yeah, it's a little, I'm surprised you like it. Almost a little wheatgrass to it.
Shut the fuck up.
And so I'm like, they're dumping it, they're soaking it in the white dog, and then they're lighting on fire. And I was like, so this is just something everyone does? And they were like, we don't even know where you got this idea. No,
We're just doing, but that's what they do though. They'll just let you do like whatever you want.
I was like, well, someone mentioned it. I didn't come up with the idea. But then
I
someone
think
was
it was
throwing
probably-
flaming axes, and I was pretty fucking good at it.
I feel like it was probably like, there's a bonfire and we can throw axes. And I think you
You
somehow.
can
Come on.
combine the two.
Put
They
those
said
two
you're
together.
probably the third person ever to do this. I was like, well, someone's at least
Oh, someone has done it before.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's good.
Wait, what part of the axe is on fire? The wood part? And you have to.
The blade.
The wood part
Blade?
is burning your
Because
hand.
it's just covered in the alcohol.
Yeah.
So it just like, it probably just burns off.
It does. Yeah, like
Right?
the moment you throw it, it kind of goes out. It doesn't. It's not as dope as it sounds.
Okay.
It's basically like an axe gets lit, like a flaming shot, where it comes out on
Okay.
fire, but you blow it out.
I know a
before
guy
you-
who did that on spring break. This is probably like early 2000s. He led. They had like a line at the bar doing it, and he was last, and he just let it burn the whole time, just thinking like, you go, you go, you go, you go, you go. And just like threw this fucking throw.
Holy shit.
Because it was just like doing like a microwave shot, basically.
I would
It was, like
never-
burning,
I would
burning.
never.
I don't fuck with flaming shots.
Yeah, I knew.
Yeah, it's just one of those stupid things. It's like, this is how white people burn their face off, you know?
Yeah.
They, like famous last words are like, let's do 151 on fire, and then you like need surgery.
I
because-
don't do scuba diving and I don't do.
Really?
Why scuba
What?
diving? You don't want the bends?
I don't fuck with like going underwater. Like
Peop- it is a little bit weird. I know. Yeah. Grab the mic.
Getting the bends is like a horrifying idea. That's like one of the least favorite ways, the things I ever want.
I know that you do like training or whatever, but it is kind of weird how many people we let do it, considering it's the equivalent of going to space.
I would.
You just go down instead of
like
up, you know,
space.
and it's like.
I like space. I do not like scuba diving.
Do you think you're
Would you
gonna
go to
die?
outer space?
Yes,
I would.
But
never
that's
fuck with
that's a little
space.
weird. You
way
understand that,
crazy.
right? That's a little bizarre.
I get that they're similar, but no. I just
Okay.
also like. I watched a video last night about cave divers.
Yeah, dude, they're nuts. They're
It's
crazy. people.
but the other thing that I don't understand about it, they're like, oh, this is the most amazing cave dive you can ask for. There's one in South Africa that multiple people have died doing. It's like this massive pit. And I watched a video of them going down there, and they go to 200 meters. And they get down there, and it's just dark.
It's black.
Yeah, that's.
I don't understand what the appeal is.
Well, it's probably just like an adrenaline thing. Like how
I
low
don't
can
know.
you
I
go?
could see it being addicting in terms of you get used to the pressure and I don't know,
Oh.
like the sensation. But
I
it's
don't
a
know,
hobby
man.
that I can't think of anything I'd rather do less than going far underwater.
You ever see? I think it's cavers, people who just crawl through the tiny crevices. And
Oh, I can't even watch those videos, dude.
No.
Where they're
That one
like,
where that
they're-
guy
Ew,
like he
dude.
got
Wiggle
trapped
through
upside
that.
down and just died because all the blood pooled to his head in Utah or something.
Fuck that, dude.
That's
Like,
crazy.
That's why I like space. It's literally the opposite of that.
You just explode.
No, it's
in the
just like
vacuum.
infinite. It's like the opposite of
You
claustrophobia.
got a lot of room out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're just
endless
floating.
room.
The main guy at Whistle Pig who was like set this all up for me and we're working with is like an extreme everything skier, water skier, X Games type shit. And I was asking him how when you do like the hella skiing where it's like, it's not a ski mountain, it's a mountain that you're skiing on, you know? And I was like, how do you do that? And he was explaining the whole process of how they put this thing in the ground and then they hit it, and if the snow moves, it's not safe. And then there's enough testing that it's like, okay, there probably won't be an avalanche, but that's really it. And he just is like, yeah, man, I don't know. I had like, over the years, we've lost a few guys, like, I don't know, like 10 or 15 of them have died in an avalanche. I was like, you've had 15 friends dying in fucking avalanches?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I know like thousands of them. So, you know, I was like, okay, I guess percentage.
down.
Yeah.
Only a, 0.5%, but it was like, imagine going to 15 funerals because of avalanches.
Yeah.
That shit, I don't need that.
An
I'll be on my
avalanche
blue
is
square,
terrible.
I picture-
fucking pizza pieing.
I picture avalanche people. The funerals for someone who dies in an avalanche would be very comparable, and this is a specific reference to the funerals from the movie Orange County.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go with
Oh.
deeds.
The surfing funerals.
I don't know.
Where they're in like bathing suits and just kind of
Making out,
they're all in, like
yeah.
black bathing suits and black bikinis and like that's how I figure the funeral goes.
Me and my family kind of had one of those.
Really?
For a funeral?
Yeah, like it was. my grandpa's ashes we put out in the pond, and in Cape Cod that are like our family house forever, and all of us were just wearing like bathing suits. It was funny. My dad was wearing like Hawaiian. He had like a real funeral, and then we had like the
Yeah.
But then when they did the ashes, my dad was wearing a Hawaiian like swim trunks. I was like, this rocks.
I mean, I
like
love
that
that. I would
style.
so much rather die that way, or
Have I ever told you my
buried that
funeral
way.
plans? And this is no bullshit.
Let's go. Let me hear it.
I've never told you this?
No.
I legitimately, 100% honestly, would want my ashes, or at least my body, to go into space. That is my greatest
That's
goal.
so expensive. I don't think you realize how
like, you say
expensive
that
it
as
is.
if I can just like put you in a
Here,
thing.
I'll explain why. I got 2 plans. First plan, because I know how expensive it is.
It's like a $5 million
First plan. First plan.
First plan, I would want my body to go into orbit.
Oh, you want your whole body, not just ashes. You want your
Ashes fine. Ashes are fine too.
Okay.
I don't really. I haven't
I
decided.
don't think you are
Big enough or
big
heavy
enough to generate orbit.
Yeah, I don't think
That's
I don't
fine
think
too.
so.
The orbit thing I just did is like a plan B because it's so expensive. Ideally, I would want my remains to be sent out like
floating
Voyager,
forever.
and then you plan a route where they just go on forever, and then forever,
Space
my
track.
body is going a place where no one has been. And then think about this: there's organic material in there. Hypothetically, there's a chance that if my
Land on
body
another planet.
lands on another planet, I start life on that planet.
Yeah.
Your body wouldn't.
Tell me
I don't
that
think
that
you would make
isn't
it to
the
the
best
surface.
thing that can
makes
happen.
you feel
Who's
sick.
executing this? Like they're gonna spend their whole lives trying to make it
Listen,
happen.
I would
I'd
do
get really
this
rich.
for you
I'd
if I could, but
I'd have to get really rich. I need like Johnny Depp did for Hunter.
Yes,
Thompson.
Right.
I'd be pissed if you
What
left me
was
with that
that?
task.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
did.
imagine that though. Yeah,
He was,
somebody like, all right, let's look at Rude Boy's fucking wishes. We gotta send him to space.
Option 1, option 2.
Yeah. I'd have to get really rich because I wouldn't want to make it pay for
It'd
it.
be like Elon Musk situation.
You'd have to be boys with Elon.
What do you say?
A bunch of weather balloons tie you to
You
it.
can do it.
Can we do
old
that?
school,
Yeah,
old
I'll do
school
that.
Style,
That
yeah.
would
just
suck
see how
if they
high you
shut up
get.
your body in that, and then because the weather balloon eventually pops when the helium gets flattened out, and then like you would just fall and your body would.
Imagine
Yeah.
like a.
So funny.
Would that be amazing? Like just like 10 miles over, a body just smashes on a
Or
kid's
like-
playground.
School recess.
Holy shit.
Or like a Southwest flight. I just like hit the windshield.
I don't know how we got here from.
The space thing would be cool though, because just the way space works, like you would literally go in that direction until the end of time.
Forever.
Exactly.
It would
Oh,
never
yeah.
stop.
Until the
That's my
aliens
point.
scoop you up. and
That's
then-
my point.
then
I would
they
go where
bring
no
you back to
something's-
life and the whole nine.
Right,
Yeah.
dude. Imagine, I crashed in on an alien planet, and then my weak ass.
That'd be even funnier if you landed on an alien kindergarten.
Yeah.
The only
That's what happened to Zod.
Yeah.
That's my plan. That's how I want it. That's how I want to go out.
I mean, if I could make it happen for you, I would. I just think it's going to be
That's nice.
exceptionally impossible to do that.
It's gonna be really tough. That's why I settled on.
I would love. Could you imagine if it was like 3, 2, 1, and you like pull a fucking lever and it's just like
Or imagine it's one of
shoots
those.
out some
it's
little
like
pod?
Imagine how sad it'd be if it was one of those dud space launches.
Oh yeah, just
Yeah.
like everyone
you
down at the
couldn't
cape.
die
And it's just like
again.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you're already dead, so you'd
It's
be
true.
good to test it on.
it's true.
Exactly. Yeah. Like just, dude, launch my ass. Fucking launch.
Yeah,
me,
just
dude.
try it.
Yeah.
Still can't believe you'd want to go to
Launch
space.
my ass, fucking launch. Put that on
Outta
the
here,
tombstone too. Put that
Get
on
me
the-
out of here.
Such a high maintenance fee. All I wanted was breakfast at my funeral, and now I feel like I can totally ask for that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Here, do
Wait,
this.
want
Why do you want breakfast?
I just like, yeah, I think they should serve. That's like my one request is they
Like,
serve
well,
breakfast.
there's like a reception, if you will, after the funeral.
Repass.
I want
But
pancakes,
that's pretty.
waffles.
I feel like you're asking too much and you're asking too little. You want
think-
fucking waffles?
What are you
I'll get-
asking
We
for?
I'll get you
we
some
could
waffles
meet-
at your
we could meet in
fucking
the middle.
funeral.
We
Thank
could
you.
do like a brunch luncheon during my launch.
during a flight.
Yeah.
We can die together and combine it.
Is that not a? I mean, we always go. Well, everybody in my, most of the people in my family that are dead, we go to the one church, and then right next door is a restaurant that we always do. Like you can get your
breakfast?
food. I mean, I guess it's like brunch by the time we.
I'll just do it there.
Yeah. Okay.
Funny if you were just describing like an
Settled.
Arby's or something. Like I'm picturing like a restaurant, but an Arby's would be funnier. There's just some other
Roast
restaurant.
Huge family, so we've had a lot of funerals. Comes with and it's mostly in Delco outside Philly. And I have this meal now up here that I'm like, do you want to get the Delco funeral meal for dinner tonight? Oh, it's like after every funeral, we go to the same restaurant. We have the same the buffet with the roast beef, the rolls with the butter,
Arby's.
the salad, whatever.
Yeah.
Then like some sort of pasta, and I'm like, I could really go for a Delco funeral meal tonight. And we found a restaurant that has like all those things.
That is
It
great.
almost makes it
Yeah.
less sad because it's so routine.
Oh
Yeah.
And you're just like another
We're
day.
back for another. You know.
Yeah.
It must be weird to curate like a wake spread.
the whole process from the morticians and the funeral directors and all that. What?
I hate death
hates-
so much.
I don't have.
Okay.
I
Welcome
actually-
to the show.
Why do you hate
And I hate
Well, it's
space,
not like
literally.
I was gonna say.
Like, great show to join.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel triggered.
Heidelberg loves death. I was gonna say,
I
most
hate
people
death.
don't like care for
That
death.
is one of my favorite things.
If Heidelberg's
Oh
itching
my
to
God.
die.
Really?
It like, makes me
I'm
feel
the only
sick.
person
What do you
who's
think
absolutely
happens
going to
when
achieve
you
their goals.
I'm
in
not
life.
talking
I go
about
with
this.
it.
Like,
What do you usually happen?
Got him.
Are you going to heaven? You going to hell? You getting reincarnated? What's going on?
I'm going. To
I don't
space.
know. That's maybe reincarnation.
Yeah, I think
believe in that
reincarnation.
more.
I think it's bullshit that you only get one life.
No
I'm hoping
way.
that we don't.
No, I think you get
Bro, I was
multiple.
talking
Yeah.
this with my mom the other day. Like,
Well, there's a dynamic duo. You two talking about life and death is.
Also, can I have one of these?
but
I
yes.
unfortunately don't think you
I think there's. Oh, maybe not.
No.
Oh wait, there's this
Every topic you hate plus get fucked, no beer for you.
Sure you want to be here?
I know. I hate it
You
here
want to
right
go
now.
to space, Rudy.
The
Like, you know how fucked it is if you die in space?
But
Like,
do you know
But he's
if
already
you
dead.
die-
blood boils.
Oh, you mean
no,
like-
I'm saying
yeah,
go
yeah,
into
yeah,
space.
yeah.
Your blood boils.
Your head
if you get exposed to
explodes.
the
Ever
vacuum.
since I was a little kid,
Body
I wanted to die in
expands.
space.
Like,
So
I think it's like you
interesting.
could totally do it.
There's no cooler death.
but like if
I
you're
am
in
with
space,
you.
right?
I
like
actually-
you
Did you
exposed
say
to
your
vacuum,
blood boils in space?
because the pressure is so much lower because you're in the vacuum. You're in zero atmospheric pressure, and if you're holding your breath, your lungs get sucked out of your fucking mouth.
Jesus.
There's no more bad.
How do you know all this?
Yeah, there
Ben
is.
Jack, he's a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, but how do we know all this as a people?
well,
Like, are we
Some
sure?
depressurization
Seen a
before.
movie?
I wanted to jump into a tornado.
See, I like.
That's how I want
I
to.
made a
sounds
promise.
fun.
I want to be
I
like
don't
on my
know.
deathbed, and I just want to be like,
I do
This
kind of
one,
want
and
like
you
a
just
metal-
take me off.
This
yeah,
could
I
be
want, like, a
dangerous
metal death.
for Alice, but I have made the promise. I have made the guarantee that we'll not die in a tornado. That's the one.
That's right.
How do you're positive?
I'm 100%.
I now I want to
Because if I
make that
saw it,
happen.
I'd move. I'd get out.
You
of the
can
way.
totally outrun a tornado. If you die in a tornado,
You're an
this
asshole.
is insensitive, but it is your fault a little bit. Or like you don't have a TV. Like it's so easy.
But
That's,
see, now my thing
I
is,
love you,
I am
Oklahoma.
on a
The
crusade.
resident expert here. Yeah.
I'm on a
Sorry.
crusade to get him dead in a tornado now. I want to be like, let's do some live shows in Kansas.
I
like,
would
run around.
go
In
in
May.
the other direction.
I know it does seem super hard to die in a tornado. Like the hardest.
Unless you're
super
poor.
hard.
Unless you're pole horn. But even then, like just
I have a question. Do you even have a
Middle of
cellar
the night.
in your apartment right now?
a cellar.
In New York?
A storm cellar. You don't have a cellar, right?
No.
There's a tornado right now. You're fucked.
No, I do. It's a liquor store.
Is it, oh, so you can literally just hide in the liquor store?
Yeah, the liquor store is underground. You go
That's
down,
amazing.
down the stairs from the sidewalk into the.
Also, no tornadoes are fucking you up here.
Yeah.
There
Maybe
was
some
a tornado
blown
in
out
Brooklyn,
windows.
wasn't
No
there?
big deal. Huh?
There's that one in Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, there's
like a mini-
Strong enough?
the second, I guess, event we did at Barstool, New York. We did a launch party at Johnny Utah's, and then we did a booze cruise to
Oh, yeah,
end,
that was sick.
to
That's
end
fun.
the summer. It was like Labor Day, Thursday, let's say. I don't know, whatever it was.
3 women on board. Maybe.
Yeah. So we had Jenna Marbles
Who were the children
and her.
first?
I think it was
There
two.
are none.
Two of them were employees. I'm saying there was probably one other woman somewhere on board.
I don't know. It was Kim and Jenna.
Yeah.
I think it was 2 because we sold it out. We had this. I mean, it was actually a really cool. Like it was probably like a 500-person boat. We had a DJ, drinks, the whole 9. And then that day was like the most biblical weather I've ever seen in New York.
What
it was
time of year was
it was Labor Day. It was like the end of the summer.
Oh, wow.
And it was like a downpour of rain and tornado warnings for like the first time. That was like 2009. I was like, I don't think I've ever heard of tornadoes in New York. So every girl with a brain was like, I'm all set. And all the like the dude stoolies were like, let's fucking go. And it was sort of like we put down a deposit, we can't get our money back, so we had to do it. And we just went on a booze cruise in the middle of a fucking hurricane.
Wow.
I think like Jenna Marbles just gave guys lap dances to She literally was just like, I gotta do something here.
Numb the
It was.
But at the
that
same
was when I
time,
first
that's like
met-
in the beginning, like that, the stoolies, like the guys stoolies almost like wanted that, where it's like they could just bro out and like talk
is
about the
kinda
blogs and
The
shit.
Coast Guard's like, that gay cruise is going on.
I do remember a girl I was hooking up with at the time was supposed to come, and like a lot of people also just missed the boat because they couldn't get across town in the rain or whatever, and she was like literally on the dock. It was like a movie scene. She was like, ah. I was like, later.
Sorry.
Jesus.
Wow.
But yeah, we all thought we were gonna die on that. So
That was the first time I met you when you.
really,
Yeah.
first
That was-
time we ever met.
We'd email. I didn't work for us then. You were like, come by the cruise and like.
Did you go on it?
Well, yeah, I was on it. And by myself. And
Yeah.
I talked to you very briefly, and you were like, so I remember in our emails to you, I had said something like, I was gonna be the intern for Kevin, and then I was like, I was like, yeah, you know, that'll be fun. I was planning on just stealing Wi-Fi from New York, but I guess I'll get my own now. And I was kidding. But you were the first thing you said. You're like, look, if you're gonna do it, you gotta have your own internet.
I mean, it was a valid question at the time. You used to eat tomato soup with a slice of Kraft Singles on top of it. Money was an issue. I didn't know if you could, you could afford your own internet.
Oh my God, I'd love to see your guys' emails.
I hope you guys all kept them. I was actually just thinking the other day about like if we ever want to write a book or something. There's so much in Gmail and Gchat. But I deleted like at one point my Gmail was full and I didn't know you could just like buy more for like $1. So I think I deleted like a bunch of them.
I think I deleted a lot too, but I think I also still have it.
Yeah, I mean there's a lot of shit in there.
Oh, I bet.
Probably.
It was actually
too much.
You talk about gay cruises. It was really gay how much we talked.
The Gchat era, like you guys probably don't even know what Gchat
Like
is.
AOL? AIM?
We would wake up at like
No, like
7
so
a.m.
young.
Chat, like on
but effectively
Gmail.
the same shit. It was like you log into your Gmail and you have like you have a buddy list if you will, and you can click but there was this whole thing. It was like if you were available, you had a green dot. If you were not, if you had to go to a meeting or something, you put up a little red stop sign. And if you were on but like had been inactive, it was yellow. But like I remember logging in at work before I had this job, and it was like. I was like green dots as far as the eyes can see, and I was like, "What's up, John? What's up, Keith?" I mean, I had like 10 boxes going,
But it would be,
gossiping,
like,
recapping the nights. All day.
You never left laptops. Dude, like I remember there was one night I was living at home, so it was after I lived in New York. I was back at my parents' house, and dude, I was in bed trying to figure out how to do this.
Oh boy.
Oh, awesome.
Oh boy.
Nice.
Oh, you had your legs up like a girl,
Legs
like.
up, and I was just talking. I was like, this is. If my dad came in here right now, like, what are you doing? Just chatting up, Kev?
I had a dude, like my best friend, would call my office phone, my desk phone, to like recap like his drunk night or his hookup or whatever, and it rang so often, and I was always like laughing and giggling and recapping and gossiping that people were like, why does your girlfriend call your work so much? I was like, A, it's not my girlfriend, it's my friend. And B, it's not that often, it's fine. But I mean, because at that point, like everybody had a miserable job. So it was just like, we got fucked up and talked about it the night later and who you were hooking up with or whatever. But it was just G-Chat, and I had like one of the headsets because we had to do a lot of work like while we talked. So I was like, whoa.
I would love to watch
So
that.
bad. Yeah, it was a different
Is that
era.
how you eat pussy too? Like
What's
that
that?
same formation? Do you do ass up?
Good question.
Dude,
Kinda.
that's a
way to go.
good point. Because
Yeah.
I think about that. I'm always like, why do I
trying to
look
think right
like?
now.
What do I
Maybe
look
I'll
like?
do it.
It's
You
weird.
do ass up?
It's very weird.
The
'Cause
lower
if
half of your body, you're like, I'm in a weird spot.
If you're ever like face down, ass up, it's a weird
we're
shit.
getting vulnerable.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's weird. Like if I'm ever in a threesome situation,
on your butthole?
Yeah,
right.
dude.
If someone's behind there, it's
I keep a
you are
really,
exposed.
I keep a really long curved stick with a little feather. Got your new side.
Dude, I've thought about that so many times. Like, dude, if you took like a full frame like side, like you saw the whole picture, it
Yeah.
would look fucking.
Well,
Fucking
It's
it's a fucking nightmare.
Or like God forbid a view
how
from
Greer does it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
How dare you pussy? I don't know if I want to
So,
hear this. Fucking
Greer-
goddamn it.
Greer, because his last bedroom was so small and he's so tall, he had to do something they called the scorpion, where like his legs would bend upwards, back, like basically like his like in the same way
The
you're doing it.
Exorcist.
It's like
Get on there.
Oh, yeah.
Because like the wall was
the
there.
wall was so short.
So his
he had
like
to,
knees are against the wall and his oh my
That
god.
would have to be. That would hurt so bad.
Oh my
I feel like there'd be a lot of cramping.
Yeah, I mean, I just almost
That's
cramped
a
doing that just
nightmare.
alone.
I would
Like,
have to mix it up. Like, imagine you were like crisscross applesauce. And
That's really what you need is someone at like the edge of the bed and then you can just sit there.
Okay, no, but why do you not do that?
the
what?
full scorpion, or
Why do I not put someone on the edge of the bed?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could. I just feel like usually you're at the head of the bed and you're laying
it's a
there
lot of
and I just
stretching.
Yeah.
dive in. But I guess usually it's more.
You should try that, Alex. What if
There's like,
Maybe I haven't, is why I'm wondering nobody else is doing it. The whole time, like, why are you guys in
that's
those positions?
like when you're like laying in bed, that's like a picnic, and then when you're sitting on the side of the bed, that's
a full
fine
meal.
That's a
That's
a fine-
that's a 3-course.
Well, that's the other thing.
White tablecloth
We were
dinner.
talking about this just last week. Is like when we're when we're going to town, we're going to town. So I can't be in a scorpion position.
No.
I can't be worried about what's going on back there.
Going scorpion is fucking.
It's the most.
I might try to do a scorpion just to say that I did the scorpion.
Somebody has to try the
Yeah.
scorpion and let us know. I think your back would hurt really bad.
I feel like everything would cramp up.
Shot. If I did the scorpion, I wouldn't be able to walk.
Your butt would cramp really bad.
Yeah.
all of it, I'd be burning.
Your hammies would be.
Yeah, your hammies would be
Definitely be
terrible.
sore.
on fire.
How did that come up?
It's the Greer story.
Yeah, just like, so you guys ever eat pussy scorpions?
Oh, that's so funny.
I like going ass up because the cool breeze does feel nice.
But then, like, I'm always like, if I get robbed right now.
Yeah, if somebody comes in doing some human centipede shit, if you get the full picture, it looks
If
weird,
I got
bro.
robbed, I would like he'd leave.
That's what I was gonna say.
Fuck
This guy's down bad.
If I were,
He was like a guy like who just got like takeout, like fast food takeout, just in the car, like everything's like fast. One random hand up here.
that's why I could never be a criminal because if I did a beanie and someone was doing that, I'd walk in and be like, "Oh, my bad."
I would apologize.
Sorry.
Sorry about that.
Oh, by the way, that was one of the funniest clips I've ever seen. Was the Sophia with an F whatever? Holy shit!
That you couldn't script.
You can't script that
Did
any
you
better.
see that?
No.
It's Sophia
So
with an
funny
F
is that.
on some chick's show, and she's
Oh, I
like,
saw you retweet that.
she's like, what did I even get canceled for? Because I spoke up about how I wanted to get paid, and because like this horrible company that I used to work at doesn't like me anymore. Like that's what I got canceled for. Like, what did you get canceled for? And the other girl goes, well, who was it?
I don't even know who it was, but she's like,
She goes, well, I mean, I broke into Orlando Bloom's
I
house.
burglarized.
Like, in a billion years, I could never guess that ending.
No, I did see that
And
clip.
she
You
was like,
retweeted
it's
it.
justified, but, and then like the clip cut. So it's like, I don't want to listen to the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to see a
She
longer
stole Lord of the
video.
Rings wig. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, it was, I don't know. I feel like I would have like heard that. Was he part of the bling ring? Is that
Yeah, I was
what that
gonna
was?
say, I think that's what that
So
was.
maybe, but it was
the fact
just
that
like,
she's
what?
walking around throwing around the term canceled means we have long past canceled.
That girl's probably making bank still. Yeah, all right. You
Also,
also,
you-
$60 million payday, but
your fucking business partner didn't want to work with you anymore.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You had a bad negotiation. That's it. You didn't get canceled.
Well,
Crazy. We were actually just talking about maybe having her on the show because I think she would be a good guest, but
She would
running around
never
saying us that we're
come
the
on.
awful company.
I feel like she would come on.
Well, I thought that
think?
until she just said on this podcast, she was
think
like,
she
I
hates
worked for that
Barstool.
awful company.
Terrible
that blah, blah,
company.
blah, blah. So it's like,
I want to talk to the
that awful company that still put you on the
Well,
fucking
desk
map.
mates.
What?
I want to talk to the Orlando Bloom girl.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, I think
I
she,
know,
was, she has a podcast, I think.
When we talked about the bling ring with the fucking
What is the bling?
Brian Austin
Bling Ring was like these house burglars that like mapped out all of these houses in LA.
But they were teenagers.
Yeah, they
in
were
high
like
school.
real young, and they like did they just straight up break in, or were they like, we're gonna clean your house? Or, like,
No, they
there was,
broke
like, a
in-
reason why they.
They
found
stole
out.
specific things.
And they could see when
Yeah.
the celebs were out at like award
Right.
ceremonies or whatever, so they
Yeah.
knew when the house
It was
was
very
empty,
like
and so they would
cerebral.
go
It wasn't
and-
just like they
yeah.
were
That
rogue.
should have been the plot of the Ocean 11.
It was a movie.
Well,
It was a movie.
Yeah, they did make a movie.
was?
Yeah.
It was called The Bling Ring, I think.
With Emma Roberts, I think she's in it.
But Brian Austin, we
yeah.
talked to
Yeah.
Brian Austin Green with Megan Fox was one of the spots.
and they didn't realize they got robbed.
Do you know
How
how?
cocky is
That's
that?
how rich they are.
A long, yeah.
He was like, he went in to like put on a watch, and he was like, oh wait a minute, all my watches are gone. It was months later.
Yeah.
It was months
They were
later.
smart
He had
for
a
a short
gun
time.
stolen. He had like a dozen Rolexes stolen. He's like,
That's
yeah.
what it was actually. That gun was used in a crime.
Oh, right.
That's how we found out, which is fucked up, by the way. So the police came and they were like, the
fuck,
bullets,
yeah.
social, the numbers or whatever,
Serial
the
numbers,
serial
yeah.
numbers.
Scary.
And they were like, were you like killing people with this gun? And that's when he was like, oh, my gun and all my shit got stolen.
Oh, speaking of
Wow.
invasions of privacy on Orlando Bloom, you ever see his dick?
Yeah.
On that
Yeah.
one time with Katy
Camera,
Perry?
right?
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yeah. He was on a paddleboard, right?
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
paddleboard with
hanging.
Katy Perry or something.
How have I never seen that?
Oh my
He's a
god.
hell of you of all people
he's a
ever
big
seen
Yeah,
him.
and
He's
I have
on
a picture?
paddleboard with Katy
It's
Perry
worth the
just
Google. I
dangling.
think you just.
Yeah.
I might not
It's
still
cool
be up.
Orlando Bloom dick. It's
it's out
fascinating.
That's like
And it
Jason
had to be
Derulo.
cold.
Do you see the giant?
That had to have been fake.
Well, he's
Actually,
now,
probably not.
He's on Sesame Street singing songs now all the
Yeah.
time, and I'm always like,
Oh my
Little do
god.
they know.
It's literally all over the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And man, it must have been
Not
pretty chilly probably there
No.
too. Like
He
it's not like
doesn't
it was like
care.
a million
Well,
degrees.
if your dick goes viral and it's an awesome dick, like who cares?
Yeah, yeah.
Whatever.
Oh, me, yeah, true.
You know, I'd
Yeah.
be like, awesome, let it rip.
That's like a tripod for scorpioning.
exactly.
Core up while
So,
you're going
yeah,
over.
an embrace.
Yeah.
Do you think the guys that like had statues made out of them in like
pissed
Roman
off.
Empire,
Like the David
Yeah.
is the tiniest fucking.
But also,
thing.
It's an average size dick.
But did
That's
you?
all I'm
But do you think? My question was, do you think they knew that those things were going to last forever?
the statues?
Like in a museum?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Were they all?
Well, they're all made after the fact, right? Like, there's not many people like that were in real time making. Like, all the statues are.
Oh, because they're
You know,
already
David
dead.
was a fucking. I don't even know if David existed.
Yeah.
So they're just guessing the size?
But also, they were all circumcised too.
Yeah.
I know,
Which is
that's
kinda funny.
weird.
They
Yeah.
were probably, well, I'm not gonna give you a weird fucking.
Yeah.
They actually did him a solid.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we'll
I'll
cut
give
the
you
tab.
abs and I'll cut you up.
There's this grave in France of he was a journalist who wrote something nasty about some member of Napoleon's family. And this is like old school. Napoleon's family's like, well, we challenge you to a duel or something like that. I'm fucking this whole story up.
So tight.
He gets popped
Duel's
right away.
tight.
He gets killed. But the people considered him a hero because people were mad at Napoleon's family, whatever. I'm screwing this up. Long story short, he was a hero among the people, so they made his grave, like, it's the size of him, and then his grave top has, like, you can see his body. It's like the statue's laying down.
Yeah.
But they gave him an enormous under his pants, a huge cock. And
Nice.
so he
Like,
became,
I'm picturing this thing,
like,
Yeah.
like this hat.
yes. And so the thing, it's huge.
Like, this is what
it's
I
a
wear
fat cock.
to keep my dick.
Women started coming to this grave and
Oh, I saw
they
that.
would straddle it for
Yes,
good
I
luck for
saw that.
fertility, whatever. So the grave now, it's all green, but his cock is like perfectly golden from all the
Yeah.
women who
Oh my
rub
gosh.
themselves
Straddled
on
it.
You
it.
don't like.
To this
You
day.
rub it. You don't like.
I heard that they
Women-
closed
No,
it.
it's like flat.
I saw it on
They-
TikTok.
They blocked it off, but they've
Yeah.
opened it again because women like rioted. They're like, we need access to this grave
That's
cock.
so tight.
What?
That's actually the
That,
only thing cool.
being immortalized like that.
Yes.
That is a like.
That
I'm not one to really care about
I'll
legacy.
do
You're
that.
dead, whatever. But if I could know, chicks were riding my grave
My pristine dick.
while Rudy's floating in space and just getting ridden.
Sucks for Napoleon too, because they chopped off his dick after they
Yeah,
died and put it in
right.
pickle juice or whatever,
Yeah.
and it was very small.
Yeah, that's not
Very
great. But I feel like,
Pickling.
listen, you chop off my dick and leave it in a jar. I don't think it's gonna look impressive.
Yeah.
Chop off anybody's dick and throw it in
Also,
a jar.
dicks just like aren't that impressive. Like,
Yeah.
like visually.
No.
Yeah, no, I've always said that. It's just they're a disgusting pure part of
Well, everybody's
anatomy.
parts are pretty fucking
Yeah.
gross.
Wait, but when you
No,
guys,
but, like-
when you guys are in a locker room or like in a gym walking
We
around,
just all jerk each other off.
do you
Yeah, all
guys do you just like investigate?
Well, it's a
Yes.
different. There's a
Investigate makes it
there's
sound like
a-
I look a lot closer.
Yeah,
I
but
look.
there's
you
a
look
big.
okay.
There's
I
a big.
observe.
Does it change your thoughts on the
Always
person?
take a peek.
No,
Not really, because
no.
like I don't really spend much time in locker rooms anymore.
But there's a
so,
big
yeah.
difference between
It's-
being
it was
on
high
a
school. Was really the
Team versus going to the gym.
right. There's a
Yeah.
big difference between being on a team and being in like a public gym.
Also, these
Yeah.
guys played hockey, so they really
Yeah.
are actually gay.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
where
Hockey's
like,
yeah.
like
Do you
basketball locker rooms are just like I don't know, whatever. Hockey's
Oh,
like,
basketball
let's
locker
all
room,
fucking
big time
touch each
fucking
other's
shorts under the towel stuff.
Yeah, big time.
Hockey locker
I
rooms-
don't think anybody on my basketball teams ever saw my dick. These guys all sucked each other.
Hockey locker rooms. Hockey locker rooms are the most
The gayest thing in the world.
on earth.
Pat and Joey would be like, "You guys need to chill. You guys are so
Down a
gay,
little bit.
It's
Oh,
so
wow.
naked, it's crazy.
big time."
It is.
There's
Big
something
time,
about
bro.
male nudity that is just always funny, I think, and like female nudity is like for the most part like objectively beautiful, I would say, and like, but male
pussies
nudity
are
is just like
fucking-
a dick is an appendage.
Yeah.
It's just
The,
like
the
there.
body of the female for sure, but all genitalia is fucking
I disagree.
not great looking.
It's dicks that you look at a dick on a statue and it's just like stands out. It's an
No,
appendage.
that, I
coming
think
out.
you guys, it stands out way more in you guys, I would feel like, than us.
I guess.
Well, I
do you
also
mean?
feel like every female like statue usually has like the fig leaf or whatever. You don't see many pussies on
I wanna see
on
flaps.
Really good
schedule.
point.
Give me a clap.
Had a clit on her. Gee.
Yeah.
That's my statue, and I get it. It's gonna just have two enormous.
Can you imagine like
It's kind of demeaning that they just put the leaf
sculpting?
over it.
Yeah.
yeah, well that was the
Well,
whole
you
thing. One of the emperors said like
He chopped off all the dicks.
yeah.
Yeah.
But could you imagine
Same guy.
being, like the Michelangelo's David, if you've ever seen it, is like it's incredible. It's like down to the veins and his
Yeah,
skin and
yeah.
everything. But at one point he's sitting there like
Yeah.
a pair of balls. You know?
True.
Like sanding or whatever he does. Like, I gotta get a little wrinkle in there.
I always get
put it
confused
that
with those
way.
too because like they're so jacked and no way like without professional bodybuilding shit where it was anybody in antiquity that
They
jacked.
all had to be like skinny and frail.
How
and
would you
dying,
know about
right?
like a lat muscle? Like, no one had that.
Right,
like,
right.
No one's
That's a good
working out
point.
nonstop
That is
like
a good
that.
point. Yeah, so that was all just made up.
Yeah.
And so why couldn't you give me a couple extra inches, man? Fucking let me walk around.
I heard. I don't know if this is true or like a wife tale,
Oh, boy.
but
Here we
like
It's definitely gonna be.
I heard that like back in the day, like having like a big penis was considered like
bad.
an issue. And I don't know if that's just propaganda from the small
Little dick society.
Yeah.
I feel like everything, at one point, like being fat and pale was like,
That was really
hot in
good.
the streets. Like,
I mean, you're
Yeah.
rich.
yeah, you're
You
rich.
can work
you're not
outside.
outside
But
working.
someone explained that to me
well-fed.
in the way that they were like, that's why all the statues have like
little dicks.
smaller dicks.
Okay, that actually makes some sense.
Because like a sign of like it was like having like a large dick was like some like weird like I don't know like it was sign of nobility to have like.
Let's run with that. Let's run with small dicks mean you're like regal
Yeah.
and smart. And,
Well, no,
Yeah.
no, I can't do it. I can't in good conscience do it because
That's so
we've,
brave
we've,
of you.
we've argued long enough that like being fat and being pale was
sign of-
traits of nobility.
Yeah.
And
now it's gonna be little dicks too.
like now we're really.
Well, that just
trying
means,
hard.
that's probably the same thing. Some emperor was like, you know what's, like, I decree that small dicks are awesome, and if you have big dicks, I'll kill you.
Crazy how back then like one dude had an idea and then everyone ran with it. You know that
Yeah.
neckties were.
That's the worst. Fuck that guy. Go back in time.
Neckties were
Kill that guy.
because I think it was an English king had some sort of deformity on his neck.
Wow.
So he would wear like a scarf kind of, and then the scarf became like more exaggerated.
What
and
would
had,
you
like,
get rid of?
designs. What'd I get rid of?
Like, would you girls get rid of like high heels?
Get rid of what?
No,
Like,
bras.
What bras?
Yes,
Bras.
Having-
Agreed.
Bras.
Dude,
Agreed.
Yeah.
I also
I would
feel
agree
though
with
like, isn't there times where you want to wear a bra?
No.
No.
Nope. If you have like
Let
enormous,
them out, girls.
Wait.
I just feel like running or
But if
sometimes
you
it's
have
like
enormous, but, like,
But you wear a
enormous-
sports bra. That's different.
yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I
sometimes
mean, like a
bras actually
wired
good.
bra.
Yeah, the
during the day
underwire.
though, it's the first thing I do when I get home. Boop. And like ever since like whatever, I had my pension and I had a baby. But like I at home now, I am like just tits out 24/7. My windows are open.
Pat,
As you should be.
I did a nip slip by accident on Instagram.
saw that.
story
I saw
recently.
that.
All these guys are sending it to me, and I'm like, put it up in Times Square. Like, it's
Like, I don't care.
I just don't care anymore.
I know
And
that's
just, like,
I saw your tweet about that.
Yeah.
It's like kind of depressing when you're just like I don't care anymore, but it's also very liberating. You're just like
It's
I
like,
don't
there you
care
go.
anymore.
Yeah.
Boobs are boobs.
Boobs are boobs, man.
I'm on it.
But just
I'll
all of
put
it,
you
like
guys aside.
we had Mark Wahlberg was in studio for KFC Radio, so me and Feidelberg obviously both all wore black. Try to look as like
How do you
thin
look
as
in
we can.
person?
Huh?
How do you look in person?
He's great looking guy.
Is
He's
it?
great. He's got a very
Favorite celebrity?
class. Is it favorite?
Mhm,
Really?
top celebrity, yeah.
He was awesome. But it's like I'm looking at the picture and I was like, I look terrible, but I just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
There would have been a time where I was like, oh man, I want to look good in the Mark Wahlberg picture. Now I'm just like, I don't fucking give it. But that's not good. Because we got a long way to go. But also, it kind of feels good to just be like, don't care. Genuinely
It's
don't
like,
care.
Imagine if you guys had to wear some really uncomfortable, annoying thing every day for no reason. Like, there's no real reason I'm wearing a bra right now other than
than
like
social.
that's social,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
It's
Right.
annoying. Imagine you had to have like a strap like tight across you for no reason. all
And
day.
it's tight.
It's
Yeah, but that's the
yeah.
thing. You guys should just
Wired
say
too.
no.
Yeah,
If I started rolling in
guys
here with
have
my
the
mom
famous
titties
platforms now.
poking out, everybody'd be like,
Those
that's a
famous
little.
platforms.
Start the revolution.
Use your platform for
Okay,
good.
you start, we'll follow.
Friday night.
It does feel like
my
it's one of those
bingo
things.
wings
We
are
don't give a
flapping
shit.
around.
That was the funny thing too, is that like there's like all that like free the nipple campaign, and it's like
Yeah.
you gotta-
Who's against the nipple?
that's what I said. I was like I'm an ally. I was like
That's a fabulous question.
It's just
yeah,
weird.
Who's
like,
who's,
Christian freaks.
who's anti?
Let's do it.
I mean, it's just
Fuck
weird
cares?
religious nuts. That's it.
like
Yeah.
not me.
Oh, so this is going around the office because Roan, I guess, went to confession today.
Saw that.
Some
Yes.
sort of yak thing, I'm sure. Who knows? But then Smitty says to me, he was like, "So when was the last time you went to confession?" And I was like, "What?" Like as if it's a thing. I was like, I don't know. The last time that like CCD made me. It's probably confirmation you had to
Yeah,
go get.
when
like,
you're
in-
14.
Yeah,
Right,
so
so
you were
like,
like bushy.
I never once as an adult have been like, I've
get something off
had
my
a
chest.
rough go. I gotta go.
Things up.
Have you ever done that?
No.
When
I was
I,
the last time I was in high school.
No.
so I
You?
grew up Catholic.
I was Catholic, yeah.
Yeah, grew up Catholic. But as soon as I turned 18, and like when I was like,
Done.
I'm done. No
Yeah.
thanks. Fuck that. And then I have fucked up a little bit in life. Went to boot camp. And at boot camp, the only time all week you had away from your drill instructors was if you chose to go to
Chapel.
church. So I was like, yes, I'm back in. Count me
That's
back
fair.
in.
That's
Well,
fair.
I got sucked into the Kool-Aid again. After like the third week, I was like, I wholeheartedly, I'm so
No
sorry.
way.
I like drank the Kool-Aid so hard, I got real religious again. Like,
You know
I got
what?
back
3
into
weeks?
it. Like after the third weekend, because
Well,
like
boot
everyone's-
camp's fucked up, man. I'd be latching on to shit too.
I would
all
wanna-
day, and then you
yeah.
get there and they're like, "You're a beautiful lady," and you're
Yeah.
like, "Thank you, God." And so
Right. I owe everything to you.
at the very end, they had a big final confession, and you could choose what denomination, but of course I'm a Catholic, that's what I knew. And so they had this final confession. And I'm like, I'm a new person. Like part of why I had gone to boot camp was because I was such a piece of shit. Like I was such a piece of shit that I had to join the military to be less of a piece of shit. That's how shitty I was. So the priest is like, is there anything you want to confess? And I was like, you know what? because I always used to lie in confession too. Like in high school, I was getting beaters and stuff. I would never say that when I had to go to confession. I was like, no, nothing. So I sit there and I'm like, I was blowing lines. I was sucking cock. I was like, I told him everything. I was like, and he just sat there and he was like.
But then what's great is that like three hilarious and 2 Hour Brothers. Good to go.
I walked out of there and I was like, I'm a new person. I really was like, I'm a new person again.
So are you saying I should come confession? Like feel good?
I can see how it could be cathartic.
I really felt
but I also really think to be
therapy,
honest
nice.
about it, you gotta. I mean, I'd be like roll out a fucking scroll.
Yeah.
Like, how long you got here?
I remember, I think it was the last time I went to confession. I was in high school, and we had to go like once a semester or whatever it was. And the priest was like, all right, when's the last confession? I was like, I don't know, last semester, whatever. And he goes, what are your sins? And I was like, I drink alcohol. And then he had a follow-up question. He was like, how much? I was like, dude, come on, Father.
Work with me.
It was a lot for me to confess that. And you drink to the point of blacking out?
How would you know what that
Define
is?
black
Father?
man.
Yeah, seriously.
Do you touch the altar
Do you
boy?
have any more?
Dude, this was the same priest who we used to pull. This dude was a nutty, right? He used to. Now I went to a Catholic boarding school, and it was like he would sing going down the stairs because he thought stairs were possessed by the devil, and then he has performed multiple exorcisms.
So stupid.
And we had him perform an exorcism in our buddy's room by just telling him the story of we'd seen the Something of Emily Rose.
Yeah.
And we
Yes.
just told him that. Like we were like,
What? How are you?
What? 10 years in, I'm now finding out stories about
What?
No, dude, this I blogged this back in Barstool, New York days. I told you
you were a part of an exorcism?
It was he cleared out the whole fucking dorm. Like everyone
Was he doing the power of Christ compels you, like throwing around water?
Everyone was outside, like I think he's like yelling in there.
But the
That's
kid
weird. Yeah, we do. We just it was like we had the idea. We saw like the Exorcism of Emily Rose, and we're like, we should just tell him this.
This happened. Yeah.
And he's like, I'll handle it.
Wait, hold on. Was the kid?
Possibility that your friend got molested.
Was
You guys all got raped.
was your friend that was the one who was possessed? Was he just
He wasn't
sitting
possessed.
there?
It was
The room.
It was the room.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
It's a lot harder to convince a human person.
Yeah, because I thought he was just sitting there, just like.
I'm possessed, Father.
Yeah.
Is there ever a scenario in confession, because I've never done it, where the priest is like, whoa, or he just has to say like, you're forgiven?
I think they're allowed.
I do think it's one of those things.
In 30 Rock, Jack Donaghy, when he's dating Salma Hayek, he gets the priest to run out.
I think, isn't there some sort of like, it's almost like client.
Well, what if I
Attorney-
murder?
I think it's one of the only places you can
But you
confess
can't
to a
say
murder.
murder.
Yeah,
You can't.
No,
And
if
they
you
don't have to
murder,
tell anybody?
Unless you're going to hurt somebody.
I think, it has to be like future harm.
Yeah.
Okay,
But I don't know.
past?
I feel like if you confess to like being a serial killer,
Serial killer maybe, but if you confess to a killing, I believe it's if you've committed crimes, confess them to a priest, not your therapist. Because I think a therapist can.
therapist has to,
Yeah, therapists can tell.
But if I'm a priest, I'm like, I don't know, this guy's
I'd be
a bad
like,
guy.
Did you see that
I'm not
priest?
walking around with this on my conscience. You're going to jail.
Yeah,
buddy.
Yeah.
Did you see the priest that got fired after 40 years at like that Colorado parish? Because he was saying one wrong word during baptisms, and so all
Everybody-
those baptisms are considered
Fake.
null.
Get the fuck
The Catholic Church was like, we did this big investigation, blah blah blah, and I feel like
That's what they're fucking
that's-
investigating and
seriously.
punishing.
how
so whack.
that's
You know what the other guy was
so
doing during
bad.
baptism? Like raping kids.
Yeah.
Like
Christ.
that.
And that's the
One
definition
wrong
of
word.
whack.
Yeah, he
That
was
is
just saying
insane.
one wrong word, and so they consider all those baptisms like null.
That is
Then
insane.
too
That's
for all the parents who
sad.
believe that stuff, who had like
Yeah,
whatever.
your
happened,
baby's
it's
not
like,
going to heaven anymore.
Oh my God,
That
yeah,
is
it's
nuts.
crazy.
What?
But I know.
I did see that.
While we got everybody here, I know Kate said she wanted to hear the wrap up of your date, right?
Oh,
It can't be done.
We have a emergency pod dropping at 4.
But it
Wrapping
drops,
up.
wait, when does this drop?
Tomorrow.
It'll be out.
Tomorrow noon.
I know, but I don't want to get into it right now.
Okay, all right, no.
My ears are sound. Listen to the episode. Just know that I've been following this
I appreciate
on Twitter.
that.
I'm like, well, what's happening now? I'm like sitting in the chair rocking. I'm like, she's getting this other second drink. Like,
And the
You
only,
guys
and the
have-
only reason
have
why
weaponized and turned this into content like
the only,
They're literally a hurricane.
the only reason why I don't want to get into it is because I haven't told Alex everything, and like, you know, when you're recording, you want it to be like their initial reaction, and Ruby
always
doesn't
say
know
save it for the
anything.
show.
I
So I
don't
want it to be like very like real. Also, I would like that's the only reason why I don't want to get into it.
Okay, what if we ask this, because this is sort of
Yeah.
side subplot. What did you think of her disguise?
I saw her and I started
Like,
Like,
what
she
kind
got
of
mad at
I mean,
me.
you look ridiculous.
She's like, the unibrows too much. And there was
Too much, Alex.
I'm like, oh,
The
I'm
fucking
sorry.
Glasses with like the Sherlock Holmes hat
Yeah.
the first time wasn't
Alex
too
is
much.
always
But
too
this
much.
guy on the
pink
street,
jumper with the
I have a
fucking
picture if you wanna see
Barbara
it, too.
Bush look.
Yeah.
the guy on the street was like, love the hair. I was like, see, it's not that bad.
Dude, like,
that
no,
bad.
double take
Alex
you, like,
is
people
always
treat you.
too much.
And
They said they didn't have a table, and then the guy was like, I'll get you one. I'm like,
Are you?
yeah.
No, when we go
Do
to
you intentionally look like the woman from Dodgeball?
Yeah, wow, the Romanoff or whatever.
imagine going to 5-star places with that, and then I have to walk in with her most of the time.
But like, what
I'm
kind of
early.
looks do you get from the people there?
No, not weird looks at all.
Not the
you
first
just
time
sit
really.
solo.
I just sit by myself and I just tweet.
But you
How
said a few
far
people
away are you
complimented you.
The first time I was probably this exact
Yeah.
distance.
That's
Last
cool.
night it was
It was like
a
more
little
like
further.
Yeah, I was like more like you to maybe like.
And so you're just
there.
like making it an absolute mockery of the institution of dating, right?
Absolutely.
Well, not if
No, absolutely.
Jordan's like, no.
Like, are you actually gonna like
not
see
if
these guys and
not
date
if the
these
date's
guys?
good.
Yeah.
The guy's awesome. I'll continue.
So this
to
is
date
like a
him.
movie plot. It's like She's All That, where eventually you're gonna fall in love with some guy and be like, just so you know, this whole thing was like based on Barstool content.
Scam, yeah.
And he's gonna be like, you lied to me.
It's not my
No,
fault
because
the
guys
guy
would be like,
sucks
whatever,
at
can we fuck
dating.
still?
The first guy got really mad. He was like,
Yeah.
Okay.
but then we said, if you take Jordyn on a great date, we're going to report it as a great date.
Yeah.
Almost
Good for you.
10 minutes later, he texted her and said, I agree to go on the podcast. I'd like to clear some things
Oh, well,
up.
now he's like, so
Yeah,
he's
I was
gonna
like,
go on
no.
the show?
No,
We were like, no, you're not
Oh,
invited.
you're not
You don't
invited.
get to pick.
I think a girl would feel very betrayed by this, but I think guys are so fucking brain dead that like they wouldn't give a fuck. Like
I've said this a million times.
would.
My,
Some
my,
people
I
would.
hate, my biggest pet peeve is in movies when it starts as a bet or it just starts with like the wrong intentions, but they're like, but I fell in love with you.
I won't fall in love with anyone.
They're like, oh, it doesn't matter, you lied to me. It's like, just fucking let it
Yeah.
slide. We're in love.
Yeah.
This is great. We're gonna fuck this all up because of my prom bet. What are we doing here?
Exactly. Isn't that the
I hate that.
agree. It's the best thing. Like, you're
Yeah.
already in love. Get over it.
Right.
But we're not falling in love in this scenario.
Unless you do, and then we can't help
Not for
that.
360 days now.
Last night, though, I still don't
What's
know,
the
but you
360
looked like
days?
you liked him.
Oh, she said I have to be single for like at least a year into the
I agree with
podcast.
that. So many people are like afraid to be single. It's like, just be single.
I love
Kevin,
it.
I've been single for 4 years.
Yeah.
I've been single for
So what's a
4 years.
fit?
Because this bitch wants another content series.
Exactly. So what's
She's
one
like, I
more
don't want
year?
you to fucking get it.
I was like, just
What's
do
one more year
year
in my life?
It's not a big deal.
What's one more year being alone? It's fine.
But here's the thing, everyone's gonna catch on, right? I feel like you've got like a couple more dates before this becomes like they know you.
Maybe
or
some
they've
people
heard.
live under a rock.
Yeah, and that is, I guess that's true. New York New York never
So
ceases
big.
to amaze
Yeah.
how big it is.
Big.
Like the amount of people are like, oh, you get stopped in the street all the time. It's like
Not really.
Also,
certain
last
neighborhoods,
night,
certain times, certain
35.
places, but otherwise.
Murray Hill, you're getting noticed every
Right.
fucking 5
You know what I
minutes.
mean?
Most places you just blend
Lawyer?
in. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we were
totally.
35-year-old lawyer last night, no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first guy, though, Clifford, total stoolie, and it took him like 4 hours. and he's like,
I
"Are you
dislike
fucking kidding
him
me?"
Really?
so much.
Oh, we found out.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he found
Did he
out.
find out like through Twitter or like
He
his
was
friends
irate.
texted him like, hey,
One
by
of
the
his
way,
friends sent him
He texted me
Twitter.
5 paragraphs about pretty much how
Ooh.
shitty of a person I am.
Well,
And
he's
then-
the one
I
that
can see some
volunteered
people
to
getting
come
upset about
on.
it.
And then he said, let's wave
That's what I told her. I was like, I
flag.
mean,
Then he asked to wave
See, I don't
wave
get the
flag.
difference of between like doing that and like having live tweeting that and then just simply telling the story. Like he was showing
Thank
his
you.
face, so like it's just telling the story of a date I went.
We never showed his face.
Never
I
said his
could-
name,
I could
never showed his
maybe-
face.
Yeah, that's why he's being a pussy about it. But I could
Thank you.
maybe be annoyed by being like, I thought we were just like gonna go on a date and you're just like using me as fucking,
But we,
you're just like clowning me,
We're
your
it.
friend.
if I liked him, I would go on a second date.
And a
And a
third.
third. And a fourth. But he was one of the worst dates I've ever had.
Well, right, and that's.
Oh, that's a good question.
He didn't ask her where
Worst
she
dates ever.
worked.
Yeah, that's
He
crazy.
never, yeah, Kevin, he never asked where I
That
worked.
didn't
Yeah.
come
I
up.
would've told him, I would've been
That's right.
honest.
That was Jackie was saying that too. She went on a date
Yeah.
and the guy.
It never once
Did
asked
not
you where you
ask.
worked?
No.
Yeah.
I would have.
We
Is it, like,
kind of
question
wanted to
3?
tell him.
Like, what do you
You
mean?
would think.
Yeah.
You would think.
That's crazy.
We wanted to get
Yeah.
to the scenario where
Where
he's like,
what do you
Yeah.
mean?
and she's like, my co-host is behind you, and
Yeah.
and he never even
You didn't
said,
even follow
what
up with
do
that?
you do?
Like, you said my co-host and he just.
No, if you would have
Oh.
asked me where I worked, I would have said Barstool, and he said what, I would have said Mean Girl Pod, actually. And then he's like, oh my God, I'm a stoolie. I would have been like, funny story, look behind you. Like, we would have gave in.
Yeah.
He never asked.
But he never brought it up.
That's
I know where he
wild
works,
to me. That's
where
one
the
of first
location is,
questions I would
what he
ask.
does for a job, his job title. I know everything
Yeah.
about this kid.
Jackie went on a date where she knew all about his jobs, his criminal history, and watched his OnlyFans videos.
Criminal?
Yeah, he
Who's
brought-
Jackie
he brought some
dating?
charges.
Yeah.
She went on a date with, and like 10 minutes in, it was like 10 minutes in, he was like, so my parents cut me off after the criminal shit, and so I've been doing OnlyFans to
Where'd you
make
meet
money. and he was talking about his dick and everything. So she was like, all right, like
You need to
prove it.
expand this. You need to get a corral of Barstool women
honestly.
that you take out.
Yes,
She was like, all right, let's see it. And he brought out the video. 10 minutes in, she knows about his criminal cases and has seen him fucking somebody on the internet.
Where'd she meet him?
Hinge.
He showed her that video.
Well, at that point, she was like, fucking, all right, let's see it.
Did she get up and like go, or did she stay?
No, she went on that second date. They're dating. They're boyfriend girlfriend.
They're current, but that's awesome.
So that was the way she told the story. She was like, and every 30 seconds in the story, she's like, this guy sucked so bad. He doesn't know my name. He doesn't know I'm working. The OnlyFans, he sucks so bad. Over and over. He's the worst. And I was like, so what's happening this weekend? She's like, well, I'm gonna go out with him. I was like, what? So here's her idea.
Out fuckboy the fuckboy.
Which I was like, you can't. No, you idiot.
No.
You cannot out
impossible.
fuckboy the fuckboy. At best, you can tie him
Jackie.
because the
Yeah.
fuckboy's like,
That's
okay,
impossible.
just keep having sex with me and like ignoring me, like or whatever whatever your plan to be a fuckboy is, they're cool with it.
Fuckboys
This
are
is
narcissists.
fucked
You
up.
can't out narcissist.
When I was I don't know what this says about me mentally. It's not good. When I was in college, if a guy was mean to me, I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna fuck that guy.
Absolutely.
And call him back. Like, I'm not showing him something. He got to fuck
There
me,
was a whole era,
Like,
probably
what?
right at that time period, when the pickup artist books
Yeah.
and shows were out, where it was like, be mean to chicks and they will fuck you.
I'll show him. I'm gonna give him a blowjob, and then just
Right. And then we're assuming he would actually call and we would be able to not call back, but he never called.
he's like, that was super easy.
That worked even easier than usual.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I got a big head about it. I'm like, whoa.
got him.
I ain't
Max
saying-
Tucker was a tough time. That was a rough time.
That was Max Tucker
Yeah,
era.
big Max Tucker
Yeah.
years.
Really
That was dark. Those are dark.
Yeah.
Because there is like an art form to like playfully busting balls with a girl. So you kind of like, if she's like super hot or famous or wealthy or powerful, whatever, you kind of like knock her off her game a little bit. But then those guys knew how to do that. And then regular guys were like, all right, I'm gonna do it. Like, so you're fucking ugly.
Right.
You're ugly and not my type at all. You wanna fuck?
Right.
And people be like, you're being mean to me.
Or they'd be like, yes.
I think so.
I would like that very much.
So are you gonna like is this part of Mean Girls Pod, like a weekly thing?
Yeah, we'll see how long it lasts.
Yeah.
Not the whole part. Like,
No.
we really only want it to be like a small part.
No, but like a running
Yeah.
segment.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Jordyns
Yeah.
Date this week.
Until everyone
Yeah.
finds out. and
We
they're
have a
like,
date next week.
Right,
Zero
yeah,
Block
that's
30,
what I
like
was
and
gonna say.
subscribe.
I feel like there's so many people that you do have a lot of time, but like
Not
they'll
that.
catch on eventually.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we have a date next
Get
week.
your
We'll
money's
see.
worth, and we'll see what happens.
Next week's guy's trouble. You can
Yeah,
just
he
tell.
is trouble. I might actually like
Love 'em.
this.
And you're just living vicariously as a wifed up fucking.
Oh, I'm
boring
just sitting at
married
the
person.
bar
You're like,
tweeting
so,
about it.
more
Talking to
details. What's
them.
happening?
No, she's the one who's like talking to him. She sets up the date. I just go on the date.
She's your pimp.
She's my
I have a-
pimp.
yeah, literally.
She's my pimp.
I have a question about that. Are you incapable of doing it yourself?
I just don't want to
Why?
because I don't find
That's the
enjoyment
most
in
fun
it.
part.
No, it's
so
not because I
fun.
don't actually want to
Being a
date.
secretary for your dates, like that's terrible. That's the worst.
I don't
part of
actually
being-
want to
Oh, I
date
like
though.
that
That's the
part.
thing. Like I'm not looking for
You
a
know you got it.
boyfriend.
Actual-
What?
Unless you
It's so
find
much
it.
more fun when you get it yourself. Like you're like paying for a charter fishing trip. You know what I'm saying? Like it would be more fun to catch a turtle.
I don't think girls have the same feeling of like
No,
guys
we
do, where you
don't.
like
Yeah.
catch it.
Okay,
I know what you're talking about, like the chase.
It is kinda- that sounds
you earn
kinda-
it.
No, because guys are idiots, and it takes like 5 years to get them to ask you. Where Alex is like, "All right, do you want to go on a date with me?"
I asked first. I'm
I
like,
know.
Thursday?
Yeah.
3 Thursdays from now, are you free?
Right, I mean, guys are just like, okay.
3 Thursdays from now. If someone said that to me, I'd be like, nah. That's
Yeah.
This guy's like, yeah.
All right, so check out Mean Girls Pod. Follow them both on Twitter. You got anything coming with Lights, Camera, I guess Oscars season is upon us.
We do have that coming up.
Amy Schumer, baby, let's go.
I know, I can't fucking believe that. It's such a brain dead move.
I can't believe it. I love Amy
We did an episode of the bracket last night, and Che had two of my favorite comments he's ever made. Which was the first one was he asked us, he's like, because we did worst fandoms, and one of them was politics. Because anyone who's too interested in politics is fucking weird. Don't like that
Yeah,
at all.
absolutely.
But like he asked like, is there like an Adam Schefter for politics? And Cole is like, you mean the news? It's just the news you're talking about. And then we had another matchup of people who are obsessed with serial killers versus anime fans. And Che just goes, well, the least you could say about serial killers is like, at least they're real. They're not animated people. And it's like, fucking great point.
Fair. No one's actually dying in anime.
Fantastic point.
awesome.
That was a
Check
great
out the
episode.
bracket for sure. We got Marky Mark coming next week, Mark Wahlberg on KNC Radio. And then we'll catch you guys next Friday on Friday Night Pints.
These are so good.
They're very good.
Oh my God.
This one's even better than the raspberry one. The ginger one.
Very legit.
We're at 94,000 subscribers on KFC Radio, the YouTube channel. I need to have it hit 6 figures. I need 100,000 for 2022. Let's make it happen. When we hit 100K, we'll give you all sorts of content. We're going to deliver on everything we've been promising. So please just subscribe. All you got to do is log in with your Gmail, click subscribe. Whether or not you actually even use YouTube doesn't fucking matter. All it does is help us. So take your Gmail, log in, click subscribe, and help us out.